Hi, my name is Ari Afsar. I use she, her pronouns, and I am a DGF musical theater fellow. So my background is actually in ethnomusicology, which is a music and culture, learning culture around the world. And then my emphasis was in jazz vocal. And so I've always been interested in being able to learn and write from all the different backgrounds. I think one of the biggest things, I was in LA and I was writing in the LA music scene, and I didn't really necessarily think that I could be a musical theater composer. Like, however silly and basic it may seem, I didn't see a lot of women and women of color composers, and so I just didn't ever put those two together. That's something that I could do. And then I was able to finally connect it by being a performer and composing my own music at the same time, finally put the synapses together, and I was like, wait, this is something that I could do. And so when that finally clicked, it felt like a big relief, and it felt like my purpose. A huge writer that was influential on my path is Janine Tesori. Her work, obviously being a badass female composer, but her work that always is in collaboration with many different writers and perspectives and point of views continues to be inspiring. My biggest belief is I think that art changes culture and culture changes policy, and I believe that her work is so vast and wide with the stories that she wants to tell, and she's always in collaboration with communities to be able to tell those stories, and it's really inspiring. The work that I've been developing as a fellow has been amazing. I've just been so in awe to be in a room with such awesome writers and composers, which has very much impacted my work. I'm working on a musical called That Girl with my collaborator, who's not here, but her name is Rahana Lou Mirza, and it's about a rom-com, light-hearted musical about generational trauma from Asian mothers to Asian daughters. So it's very light, but what has been really fun is every person's point of view in the stories that they are telling is using different tones and different types of comedy and humor. And I'm really, really interested in being able to use comedy and slice of life and lighthearted in order to really dive into really deep messages. I think that I, as an artist right now, I'm interested in using comedy. And so there's a lot of different comedian writers and point of views that are in this space, and that's really impacting the way that I'm looking at my own piece. I get my best writing done in nature. I am a California girl, so I love being outside and hiking and camping and all the things. So sometimes the city is really hard. This is not the best place that I get my inspiration. So trying to create those ethos, whether it be writing retreats or being out at a park and trying to journal, those are the times that I really get my best writing done. My favorite song right now that I could listen to, that I'm already listening to over and over and over and over again, is Let's Have Lunch from Sunset Boulevard. And I have to, okay, here's the thing. I have heard the revival was very transformative for me. I've obviously heard the music. I have listened to the music before. The revival musically is not so much different than the original, but to be able to have the interpretation and the way that it was interpreted allowed me to listen to the music in such a different way. And I feel like I was like a 10-year-old musical theater little girl, and I would listen to Let's Have Lunch over, and I still do. I listen to it in the morning, and I'm coming out of the shower and I'm singing it, and I'm like, what am I, 10 years old? Like, it feels like I'm like discovering musical theater for the first time. And that amount of joy and enthusiasm around a show that I got to see on a random Wednesday evening, 2 days after my fellowship meeting with DGF, is like, it feels like a New York quintessential This Is the Life moment.